He knows there are two basic steps here. One step is you must take back the streets. And you take back the streets by more cops, more prisons, more physical protection for the people. He also understands what my friend from Texas understands, and he doesn't talk a lot about, but he signed on to in this bill. He also understands there's a need to keep people who are first-time offenders, who are nonviolent offenders, or who are potential first-time offenders who haven't gotten, I yield myself an additional 3 minutes, who in fact are people who are getting themselves into the crime stream for the first time, that they should be diverted from the system. So I hope this crime bill, when it passes, the Biden-Hatch crime bill, as it becomes law, God willing, I hope that we will have ended once and for all this notion that is a hangover from the 60s, that somehow Democrats are weak on crime and Democratic presidents are weak on crime and Republicans are tough on crime. The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill, and has had a majority vote of the Democratic members of the United States Senate on the bill. So one of the things I want to do in addition to end the crime is end the political carnage that goes on when we talk about crime. Crime is not Democrat or Republican. Making the streets safe is not a Democratic or Republican issue. This is one of those issues I hope this passage of this bill will be taken out of the gridlock category and moved into an emerging consensus. And the consensus is as follows, and I will cease when I finish this statement. The consensus is, A, we must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents, it doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. That's the sad truth. I'm the guy that said, rehabilitation, when it occurs, we don't understand it and notice it. And even when we notice it and we know it occurs, we don't know why. So you cannot make rehabilitation a condition for release. That's why in our system, there's the federal system, you serve 85% of your time. It's a shame, but we don't know how to rehabilitate. But there is a consensus, and I will cease. A, we must make the streets safer. I don't care why someone is a malefactor in society. I don't care why someone is antisocial. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society, try to help them, try to change their behavior. That's why we do in this bill. We have drug treatment and we have other treatments to try to deal with it. But they are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families. But we would be absolutely stupid as a society if we didn't recognize the condition that nurtured those folks still exist. And we must deal with that.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, and we're here to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of the Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us His 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, they be likened to the speckled bird, also known as the Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Once again, we have another installment of our camp's directive entitled "For Thy Violence Against Thy Brother Jacob," and we're going over the tumultuous and barbaric history of the things that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has committed against Jake, who are the Israelites that we just mentioned. All right, and you just saw, a few clips of now President Joe Biden, who co-authored the 1994 crime bill, and this crime bill disproportionately, hurt Jake. All right, and that's one of the things that was violence against us, because it fulfilled what they do now. You have all these independent owners. The jails are no longer state-owned, federally owned jails. They are now owned by pretty much Amalek to keep Jake in prison and in slavery, according to the 13th Amendment. And that's what that 1994 crime bill did. And what you found was, say like for crack cocaine, Jake would get the maximum sentence for crack cocaine, which was a derivative of the actual cocaine, and Esau, the so-called white man, would get like the minimum sentence, if any sentence at all. As a matter of fact, the same devil Joe Biden that authored this crime bill, his son is guilty of the very same things to this day, and they hide it. All right. So once again, this is our For Thy Violence Against Thy Brother Jacob's series, and I'm going to get right to that scripture. This is Obadiah.
Can I add on?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The prison system is private. It's a privatized business. And what they do, just to add on what the brother's saying, is they make goods in prison to be sold out in the public. From car parts, they do agriculture, technology.
Yep.
A lot of things, tools, hand tools. They make a lot of stuff with lumber. And back here with Amalek, that's how they profit.
Yeah, cheap labor.
Because that's cheap labor. You in there getting like $1.15 an hour. Used to be like 50 cents back in the day. But that's cheap labor, and they selling a TV. They make TVs even.
Yeah.
And they fucking sell it for $1,000 out here.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you see stuff that's on clearance for like 50% off, they still making an exorbitant price, because the people who are forced to do that in those private prisons, making them for pennies, if not a penny on a dollar. All right, just to keep it straight. All right, so this is the scripture, the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10, and it reads, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." All right, so once again, this is talking to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He's had that perpetual hatred for us, according to Amos 1:11 and Ezekiel 35, 5 and 6. All right, it's been a continuous hatred for us. And one of these, as we were just talking about, the prison system. You know, it doesn't always have to be an immediate death, but you know, he kills Jake spiritually for so long, you know, that he ends up dying anyway. All right, and what this is saying here, you know, that shame is going to cover you because now all of your stuff is being exposed. All right, and you're going to be cut off forever, like it explains down in this in the same chapter, verse 18. You know, that you're going to be rounded up at the end of your slavery. You know, your servant, your 1,000 years of slavery, your servitude, and you're going to be done away with forever.
Right.
All right. So we're going to get into, going to put links of the actual crime bill in the description box, okay, and also a link to the summary. But what we want to get into now is the details on how this crime bill actually affected Jake. You know, it's titled People of Color, but we know it's talking about Jake because that's who it targeted. All right.
All right. This is Cap 20, and this is it says the 1994 crime bill continues to undercut justice reforms. It says, and it says here how to stop it. So here's a summary. So, it says this year marks the 25th year anniversary of the passage of the most sweeping crime bill in United States history.
Mm-hmm.
The Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act in 1994, also known as the Crime Bill. In many ways, this 350-page bill's passage characterized the bipartisan tough-on-crime movement of the late 20th century. While the bill contained a handful of positive provisions, such as increased accountability for law enforcement and new protections of survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, it was also responsible for exacerbating racial disparities in criminal justice involvement.
Yeah, just before you proceed on, I just want to make it a point. It started off that this is the 25th year anniversary. This was as of 2019, this article that we're coming from. So now we're actually in the 30th year of this, all right?
Okay. It says, as previous CAP work has pointed out, the bill contributed to ongoing rampant policy misconduct and racial profiling. Police misconduct and racial profiling by deploying hundreds of thousands of officers into neighborhoods of color. And it jeopardized re-entry of returning people of color by eliminating the Pell Grant eligibility while in prison. The bill also expanded the use of the death penalty, imposed mandatory life sentences for individuals with 3 or more felony convictions, and levied harsh new penalties for justice-involved youth. Many of these harmful...
Hey, real quick, that Pell Grant, you know, that helps with your schooling and stuff,
Yep.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's money the government gives you, you know. But
Yep.
see, they taking away, you know, set Jake up to lose that, man.
Yep.
So they can further their education, you know.
Yep.
I just want to make that point.
No, good point. Very good point. Since many of these harmful provisions remain in effect today and continue to target and destabilize communities of color, here are 3 ways the 1994 crime bill continues to undermine the safety and well-being of communities of color.
Yeah, and then once again, that communities of color is talking about the Israelites, you know, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Just to keep re-emphasizing that.
Here we got it.
This is why a lot of households never seen, you know, fathers back in the household too.
Yeah.
Because a felony, I have a felony. A felony also, what's the word? It's ostracized. Look up ostracized.
From society?
Yeah, ostracize you from society.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't get good jobs too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if your dad can't come back home, well, he can't support his family.
Right.
You know? He can't fucking provide for his woman and children, and you know, be in the home, because if you don't have no money, you can't have no woman.
Right.
Because it's like you're fucking what they call deadbeat.
Yeah.
The woman gonna turn on you, look for a man that got something going on.
Con. I have this definition. The definition of ostracize, verb according to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, it says to exile by ostracism.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
which is a root word.
You you exile someone. It's hard. You get an apartment in your name. Like I said, a job part. People see you. Are you a felon? Then you gotta wait what 7 years? You ain't got fucking 7 years to fucking wait for a decent, what they say, decent job. You need fucking money now. Take care. You got your needs. You got a woman. You got children. How you gonna support them? How you gonna live? You need a place to stay. You need shelter.
Con.
You know what I mean? So what the fuck?
Con.
That's a fucking tactic to persecute the poor.
Yeah.
Which is us.
Con.
You know?
And if I may add, that word ostracize to exile, I don't want to get off to another subject, but that's what's going to happen here with this forthcoming MOTD. If you don't have it, you're going to be ostracized from society.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
And real quick, just to add too, like the elder Hardop going into, hey, guess what? Mind you, you can't provide, you can't be a law-abiding citizen, right? So what does it turn you back to? Right back to what got you in the prison?
Degeneracy.
Yep. Just try to survive.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's it's even poor people that do that.
Yeah.
They'll fucking do some crime. They'll lock them up over the wintertime.
Yeah.
To have the 3 hots in the cot.
Yep.
To survive the winter.
Yep.
Yep. Some older jakes do that shit up like in this where it snows at a lot. The colder region especially. Go ahead, brother.
All right.
And it's going into number 1. It says authorize the
It's like, what you gonna say something, Rob?
No, you actually made the point, but I got a quick scripture though.
Okay.
If I could. It says, it's the book of Psalms 64 verse 5. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They
That's a
say,
snare.
Yeah.
That's a fucking snare because they know putting these felonies on you. Because first of all, you go to the fucking courtroom, it's not a fair shake.
Nope. Well, first of all, that flag has fringes around it. So
That's
you're
right.
under the Constitution and the maritime law.
Because it's even on the books, right? Where it says you're supposed to be tried by a jury of your peers. Peers meaning your people.
Yep.
That's possessive.
Yep.
So when I got my felony, and it's on the books about my my race, whatever, Native, whatever. So it's on the books, right? And so still, it's like, okay, this that I'm Native descent. Why the fuck you ain't got the Native Americans, or even at least somebody look like me on the stands? They had a fucking Jake that knew me, that worked with me, and when they had the jury selection and shit, because it was a case of hearsay. And when they seen me, he was shocked and awe. And then the fucking Edomite, this double, seeing that Jake do that, like he was like, "What the fuck?" That's literally his expression, like that. And he pointed out. He said, "You know the defendant?" He said, "Yeah, I know this defendant, man. He's a good man." And they got him off the jury stand.
Yeah.
He was the only Jake I seen that was obvious, Jake on the stand. Everybody else was Edomites. So let's show you that shit stacked against you.
Oh, yeah.
To lose.
Yeah. Well, it goes back, that felon, they're fulfilling that 13th Amendment. Okay, slavery was abolished. It took, and that's the thing, here again, that emancipation, it meant, when you go back to the etymology of that word, it means the transfer of ownership.
Yep.
So what the 13th Amendment literally did was transfer slave ownership from private owners to the federal government. Okay, and then they attached, unrighteous decrees to that to keep you as a felon. All right,
that's what the movie 13th about.
Yeah,
you brothers never seen that. You should watch that if you've never seen that. On
by,
Netflix.
Ava DuVernay, the 13th Amendment.
It's a movie. Years ago.
Yeah,
but the fucking documentary is they fucking know that.
Yeah,
right.
You can see when you watch that movie, or documentary. It's a documentary, it's a documentary, but they admitting that it's fucked up, Jake, especially Judah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's finish this off. It says,
So That's land of snare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read that again.
Go ahead, brother.
Book of Psalms 64, verse 5, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately.
Yeah, we gotta find a way to lock up these Negroes, Latino, Native American, these Israelites, so we get this slave labor that we once getting to get us, richer. Because since we let them work and shit, we don't get as much money from them,
Right.
because we gotta pay them wages, We want it free. That's why we gonna get free labor off of you devils and the rest of you fucking heathen,
That's right.
God.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them and the heart is deep.
That's right. It takes a fucking wicked mind to figure out how can we lock up these people, that's the Lord's people, to stabilize, like I said, to stabilize in that first part you read,
Yes, sir.
to stabilize the community. You send these fucking devils in there with these guns, pepper spray, dogs, to fucking traumatize Jake. And then you lock them up, lock up Jake for all these fucking years. 3 strikes, you're out. So you got 3 drug felonies, which is a non-violent crime. And they lock you up for 25 years. And they show you, that's why Snowfall is so fucking good, because it's actual events that took place.
God.
Jake watched Snowfall, they don't realize that's real.
Right. Right.
And I believe that's why they took John Singletary out. Because they didn't want that. Snowfall had been pitched way back in, I think, the late 90s, early 2000s.
Which was the midpoint of the war on drugs and the 1994 crime bill coming together, because that's what started it first. The war on drugs. You had Nancy Reagan saying just saying no, when Ronald Reagan and the CIA are responsible. Started with Nixon, are responsible for putting the stuff in our neighborhoods.
Yeah, so that's that. There comes a diligent search.
Yep.
Yep. And they seek out iniquities, and then fucking it show you that the CIA, all right, was directly involved. The CIA, like he's going to the Reagans, Ronald and Nancy Reagan, that old bitch. They show you that they knew what they was doing, because this nigga Freeway Rick Ross, he was the spearhead of that shit.
Yep.
And this nigga, he know he's a fucking devil too. You know what I mean? Israelites can be devils, but he fucking helped destabilize Jake too, because he's the main one that used to flood the crack into Jake neighborhood.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Because Snowfall really about him.
Yep. Yep.
You're
right. You're right.
That shit really about him. The dude Franklin, that's really Freeway Rick Ross.
And then you remember the Edomite that I think his last name is Brown, who ratted him out for doing that. He committed suicide with 2 bullets, with 2 bullets to the back of his head. How that shit happened? 2 bullets to the back of his head. All right.
I got a quick research.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 4 and 16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall." Right. That's you go ahead.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, man. That's Esau eating to the teeth, man. The wicked, man. All right, look, as we're going through, man, how they set Jake up, man. All right, this is their whole being, man. They were created to be the wicked, so what are they gonna do? Act wickedly, man.
Yep.
All right, mind you, look, they're losing their sleep unless they can't come to something to fall.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, that's in their nature. That's how they were set up to be, man. The goddamn devil, man.
Yep.
All right, so they're gonna do as the devil would do, man. All right.
And that's why Jake, knowing this truth, is a threat, because now we're not dumbed down, we're not bugged out, we're not in that slumber no more.
That's right.
We are not.
Now we realize,
devices.
okay, our whole lives are fucked up because of you fucking devil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we know who our enemies are. Because Jake tried to do good.
Yeah.
But Esau always right there to cast him down. Like it says, they only consent to cast him down from his excellency.
Excellency,
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
know?
His eyes are privily set on the poor.
Poor, yeah.
That's right.
That's why they call him the Fowler,
Yep.
right? Which is it was a trapper of birds.
That's
right.
They're always laying them damn snares for us, man.
Yep.
You know, like I say, that's why the scripture say what? Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy.
Con.
So as iron rusteth, so is wickedness, man.
Con.
All right, so you can't trust the damn devil. All right, that's why the Lord keeps telling us, hey, this is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, now that we have the eyes to see, man, hey, we just stay far from him, man.
Con.
All right, we're ready.
Yeah, this is
You got a precept?
the article.
One more, Shalaki, one more. This is Psalms 12. Starting at verse 3. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speaketh proud things.
Mm-hmm.
Who have said, with our tongue we will prevail, our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. You know, because, and these devils do that. They oppress the poor. We're the poor.
Yeah.
We're the fucking poor, man. You know, and they always puffing up at us when we complain about what the fuck they doing to us.
Con.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so this is back in the article, and this is the number
Hold
one.
on, it's like one more. It's like it says, verse 8, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. You know? So that's why there's so much wickedness around us. Everything is, this is wicked oppression.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is wicked oppression that we're under. Because they help for our affliction. Because what we're going into is them Jake affliction be even more grievous. You know what I mean? By locking Jake up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know? Because, hey, you know, you seen your relatives that go to prison and get out.
Yeah.
And they can't assimilate back into society. Like you said earlier, they just do the same shit over again.
Yeah.
Like, I can't survive. What the fuck I'm going to do?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, well, you saw that in the movie Life. At the
Yeah.
end, what's the guy's name? He played the effeminate dude. He knew he was getting out, and didn't, you know, he knew he wasn't gonna be able to deal with the real world.
Miguel Nunez?
Yeah, Miguel Nunez.
That nigga.
And then he ran away, knowing they were going to shoot him dead.
Yep.
He knew he wasn't going to be able to function in society, and that's what that prison system does to Jake.
It institutionalized you.
Yep.
You know, to where you don't want to leave. Yeah, especially been there. You got a lot of Jake that been there for stealing a piece of fruit or something, man. 20, 30 years, man. It's just a young man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's all they know.
Yep.
And all the fucking Jakes is locked up, they didn't even do the fucking crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To that point, you have Esau talking about you're only 12% of the population, but you commit 50% of the crime.
Man.
Okay. Well, here's the thing too. You only focus on that 50% of the crime. The number of exonerations is the same.
Right.
Because they know Jake was falsely accused and locked up.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Okay. This is back in the article, which we read into number one amongst the three ways which ultimately this bill affected, which this bill affected, Jake. And it says number one, authorize the death penalty for 60 new federal offenses. It says, known as a direct descendant of lynching, the death penalty has always targeted and terrorized Black and Latinx communities. The Crime Bill's Federal Death Penalty Act.
Jake.
Yeah.
That's why you Latinos, man.
Yep.
You know, so-called Hispanics. You know, you need to come out of that fucking loving Esau spirit.
Right.
You know, we get on the Southern Kingdom a lot, but you know, Northern tribes don't get enough spotlight.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you fucked up, man. Native tribes fucked up, man.
Yeah.
So you so welcoming of Esau, but your own brother you hate. That's being oppressed with you.
Curses.
That's the curse. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
You
You
know?
lie towards your brother. Yep.
Yeah, even towards your brother. The Lord didn't allow you to go scot free from the curses. You getting your ass kicked too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, you're fucking being locked up at a high incarceration rate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go in the prisons, looking in prisons, you see the northern tribes and southern tribes. Like I said, Black and Latino.
Yep.
Latinos. So like, go ahead, brother.
Okay. It says the Crime Bill's Federal Death Penalty Act permitted the use of the death penalty for 60 new federal offenses, including certain drug offenses not related to homicide.
See? Put the drugs in your community. Them lock you up for the drugs when you put your hands on them. That's why. But you know what though?
And it
That
says
goes
death
to
penalty,
Exodus 2. You know, the Exodus 21, which says that thou shalt not suffer a wish to live.
Yeah.
Because dope boys don't have a life. You get locked up. You touch the shit, get involved, whip that crack up. That's the pharmakia. That's the witchcraft. And then lock your ass up. And all you doing is getting back and forth to prison. Come home for a little bit. I got a cousin like that. He go to prison 2, 3, 4 years. Come home. He out for about a year, if that. Boom. Right back in there. Another 2, 3, 4 years.
It's a vicious cycle, man.
Go ahead, brother.
It says in the 5 years following the bill's passage, 74% of defendants with death penalty recommendations from federal prosecutors were people of color. Notably, 44% were black and 21% were Hispanic.
There you go.
There you go.
It says, let me see here. It says racial disparities in capital punishment persist to this day. While black and Hispanic people represent just 31% of the U.S. population, they represent 53% of death row inmates and 41.9%, and 11.3% respectively. You know, which, you know, they say we 31% of the U.S. population, but they can't really put a number on it because the Lord said that the children of Israel are as the sands of the sea and the stars of heaven. So really, you can't put a estimate or a number on the amount of Israelites that's here in the Americas.
And mind you, that's this devil with his numbers, man. They the real minority. That's how they use it to keep themselves seem like they in power. They the strongest nation now, man. Y'all, we see it. They don't have children, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Jake's the one having children, man.
Right.
You know?
That's a good point, Art.
Yeah, that birth dearth.
Right. Hey, the Lord be plaguing them. Them Edomites, they be up in them fertility clinics and shit trying to figure out how they can science their way up out of it. Nah, man. You know?
It says further.
That's why the abortion clinic was designed to keep Jake population down.
Oh yeah.
Same thing when you go to Exodus. All right, it's the first chapter when it says, "Man, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Get all of you
wisely, we stay multiply."
Yeah.
Yep. And I was gonna say, and while you're getting that, that whole thing about that abortion clinic, we got another video early on in this series where it talked about that, and they could literally donate specifically to what child they wanted aborted.
Yeah.
Okay. And a lot of it is Jake.
It says Exodus 1:8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, and he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. And then it says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. Right. The point is, you go down to it, they were slaying the babies, all right? Verse 18. Matter of fact, it says, verse 18, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said them, why have ye done? Well, no, not that one. Shalaki.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of
My son in my eye. I can't have you see that. Yeah, verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And it says,
see, that just shows you too, like, say, that's how you know Jake too, because even on our as oppressed we are, man, hey, Jake gonna pop, hey, we're gonna have some children, man.
Yep.
When you ain't got nothing else to do, you know, you ain't got the means, hey, you got sex though.
Yep.
Verse 16, verse 15, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah and the name of the other Puah, and he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. That's the point I wanted to bring out.
Yeah.
Because we talking about, because the crime bill affected men.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. Because men, we create nations.
That's right.
Yep.
You know, yeah, we need a woman to help us create a nation, but we the ones that had a nation right in our testicles.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's right, brother. Seed, sperma, you know, same
That's why they
thing.
call it with the family jewels.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. We got the family Jews.
That's right.
It says, if it be a son, then he shall kill him, but if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Why you look around and you see mainly women in J community?
Yep.
You know, the men are fucking fading because Esau killing off the men, locking them up, shooting them down. You know,
Or if he does allow the men to, you know, make it past babyhood, right? Then they got all the chemicals and shit. Now they moles and shit. Man.
Chemically castrated.
Chemically castrated, man.
Yeah. Atrazine.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned that same thing Herod did. You know, at the end of the day, they were afraid of a Jake Salakia rising up and coming to rulership. Yep. All right.
You got it.
It says, furthermore, the death penalty is more likely to be recommended when the victim of the crime is white rather than black, which that's bullshit.
Right.
If how can that be if most of the death row inmates are so-called black and Hispanic? You just said is more recommended for someone who's white than black, but you know most of the death row inmates. So this article, you know, whoever wrote this literally just contradicted themselves.
Yep.
Because most of the death row inmates are Israelites, man.
74%.
Yeah, it just says
74%.
Yeah.
But she turned around and say that it's more recommended for a so-called white person over a black person.
Yeah. And then, like I said earlier, you have to take into account not only the number of exonerations of that, but Jake that are still murdered despite DNA evidence proving them innocent. I was just reading an article today about that. Go ahead.
It says, I'll read that again. It says, furthermore, the death penalty is more likely to be recommended when the victim of the crime is white. Oh, my bad. It said when the victim of the crime is white rather than black. Despite the fact that black men are most likely victims of homicide. Last year, the Trump administration called upon federal prosecutors to pursue the death penalty in cases dealing in extremely large quantities of drugs. If this directive survives litigation, it is expected to worsen racial disparities in the application of the death penalty, as black people are far more likely than white people to be arrested, charged, convicted, and incarcerated for drug crimes, even though they use and sell drugs at similar rates.
And the point I want to make there, we don't have the planes or the means to bring the stuff into the country.
I got a precept.
Yeah.
And it showed you too, even with Pablo Escobar, man. It showed like the CIA and this stuff. They directly use it. FBI. Yeah. They use you until they use you up, and then they raise somebody else up to be in that position. Take you down. Oh, that's the enemy. Take them down. They raise up another one. That's the Esau. But that's the devil, man, playing both sides, man.
Yep.
And matter of fact, that's the God complex that Esau thinks. You know, remember, hey, the Most High controls both good and evil. All right, so Esau, he plays both sides of the fence. You know, trying to be as the Most High.
That's a great point, brother.
I got a quick precept because we read, and this article says that black people are far more likely than white people to be arrested, charged, convicted, and incarcerated for drug crimes, even though, and here's what the article says, even though they use and sell drugs at a similar rate. So I got this in Psalm 73 and 5.
Yes, sir.
It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. It's talking about who, man? You fucking Edomites, man. Y'all not finna serve the same time Jake would for committing the same crime.
Nope.
See, they just throw the book at Jake. Look, you know, we gonna sit you down for life, man. You ain't gonna never see the light of day again. Whereas Esau, they sit him down in an interrogation room, cut up a Burger King, you know, the triple Whopper. The fries got all the salt and pepper and shit on it.
That's right, brother.
A fucking chocolate milkshake.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I understand, you know, you've been going through some things, you know, and that's what they did with that fucking, what was that, Dylan Roof?
Yeah.
He shot up the fucking school, man.
Yeah.
Shot him down.
All those the people in the church.
The black church.
South Carolina.
Yeah. Gave him a full meal.
Yeah, way back. Yeah. And that's another thing too. for this devil. Shit, I'm losing it. Yeah. Anyway, how many times have we seen come across the same judge, same offense? Then you got Esau and Jake. Get what? Jake get 30, 40 years.
Yep.
Esau get the same 2 years in probation. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Same exact offense, same crime, same judge.
Yep.
So there goes to show you, man.
Or just probation, no
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, or no time. Yeah, they'd be on probation for 5, 10 years. What? Ain't seen a jail cell, man.
They sit there. Well, you know what, buddy? We understand you've been through some things, so we're not going to arrest you. We'll just let you walk.
Yeah, we'll have to do a study on you.
But here comes Jake, fucking nigger. Lock him up for life.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, and something else I just found out too. When you die in prison, they keep your body. And some they keep your body until your term is served out.
See,
Ain't that some shit?
That's wicked.
Yeah, perpetual hatred, brother.
Yeah.
That's why I remember the apostle said this years ago. It's like, Jake gonna do, according to Ezekiel 25, we were talking about that earlier.
Yep.
The Lord got to put that fear upon Jake.
Yep.
To really get at Esau.
Yep.
Because the shit Esau done to us is, it's, man.
Oh shoot, I feel it right now. Jerry, I've been wanting to get back in.
Cause you got to think about it. Most Jake is with Esau.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
you're right, because when you get into the 1994 crime bill, the Congressional Black Caucus was with it. They were with it. They said, I think somewhere like 49, 50% of Jake was in agreement with, didn't know it was going to affect you the worst.
Yeah.
But that's that witchcraft,
And if these private prisons, you need prisoners.
Yeah.
When you go to court, they make a bidding on you.
Yeah.
I can you fuck up.
Oh,
So you going to the highest bidder.
Mm-hmm.
This is why that bald headed nigga Michael Jordan got into that shit.
Right. Yep.
I can't stand that motherfucker.
It said Jay-Z also.
Yeah, Jay-Z fucking nigga.
Yeah.
And redhead nigga.
Yep. And there's a whole pipeline to prison, beginning with the public schools.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole busing thing, how the cafeteria is set up.
The bells.
Yep, the bells, everything.
Yeah. Got something real quick. It's just like random, but this is just part of it. This was just Chicago in August 18th, 2000. August 8th, 2018, Salakia. It says railroad police deny allegations their bait trucks targeted young black community in Chicago.
Yeah.
So just kind of going into, we've heard these sayings of them putting trucks out there or or trains full of guns and they let it sit and then they have it open, the chains are off, the unlocked, and then you see Jake go in there, they grab them and then they go back through the neighborhoods, and lock them up, because part of that bill was like the those high power rifles, those high power guns. So then they put them out there. Jake go get them, they selling them, they shooting them, and then of course they know they can trace everything back. It's like, oh, you weren't supposed to have this. Boom.
And they say, oh, how you get that?
You gave it to me, bastard.
But the point they're even saying that they're denying, that was a thing, and that's even a conversation.
Yeah, right.
Should just let you know that there's some things going on that's underlining.
As the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right. I got a definition. As simple as what? Bait, right? The bait vehicles, right? Because he saw he set the trap. It says food used to entice fish or other animals as prey, right? Mm-hmm. So they prey on what? Jake, right? They set up them bait vehicles, like I said, the weapon caches, the trains broke down, whatever, the drugs, whatever it be. They set it up in Jake neighborhood as bait, man. All right.
Verse 8.
And bait. What else? What's some synonyms? Lure, right? Troll, tease, right? This is what they do with Jake. They know what Jake wants. They know Jake is looking for any opportunity to get out of their situation, man.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So they see them guns and they see those drugs. Oh, we gonna make it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's a snare. It's a trap. It's just to put more in prison, man.
So like they'll pass a law. They know that 350 pages.
Right.
Jake ain't reading that.
Nope.
So they pass these laws. They do them like in you know how we brought it out before. It's like
Different-
during
yeah,
holidays and
yeah.
different times, and then they sit this stuff out. They sit all these things out there, you know, as the trap. Set up a gun, you know, and they grabbing guns and stuff, and not knowing that there's a law that just was set up for you to be ensnared by.
Yep.
Yeah, that was back in Psalm 73 and 8. It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
Right,
They
when
speak
you-
lawfully.
Right, when you fucking point out to these devils what they doing. You know? Read it again.
Come on. Psalm 73 and 8. It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
That's exactly what we going into. How they fucking put the create the problem. You know what I'm saying? Put the blame on Jake. Like Jake the problem.
Con.
How you fucking put guns, and then it's like with the gun thing, Chicago, I think it's like I don't think they have gun stores in the north.
No,
If I
illegal.
remember right.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's how you know Esau a fucking devil. You know?
Yeah, this is right quick.
Hey, he said
Go
speak loftily concerning oppression, right? Because then they hit you with that what? Well, that was old. That slavery was a long time ago, but they tell you don't forget 911, right?
Yep.
You know, just to get that up. You know, they always act like, well, y'all just need to pull up. Hey, I hear in this statement, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Yeah.
Like we lazy, like we just ain't doing nothing.
Jake did that.
Yeah.
It's called Black Wall Street.
Exactly. Rosewood,
Yeah.
many others. You know,
Mhm.
you know, successful quote unquote black communities that have been across this whole nation. You know, and what they were flooded out, all kinds of stuff. You know?
By the
fire.
Army Corps of
Yeah.
Engineers.
Yep.
The government entity. Yeah.
Yeah.
They was set afire,
Yep.
and that's during the time when America, the only time America dropped bombs on their own
Yeah.
citizens
Yep.
was during Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
And did it again.
New
and,
Jersey, right? It was
Yeah,
grenades and
Pennsylvania.
shit.
Yeah, and
Move,
Philly.
move, Philadelphia,
Philadelphia,
move.
yep.
1985. Yep.
And fucking and then on top of that, right? The fucking lady, man, old Jake lady, she was like 100.
Oh, doing Black Wall Street?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They finally
Yeah.
gave her so-called reparations, which it was like, and she lived through that.
Yep.
Right,
She
yeah.
said she was like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah. Well, I saw that go down, man.
I mean, I remember I did a video. It was years ago. I was just pissed off because the fucking anger, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you should have been paid this woman.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. This is just to back up what you just said in Psalm 73 and 8. It says, Psalms verse 10, verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all of his enemies, he puffeth at them.
that was scary.
Yeah, you know that motherfucker's proud in his in the way he does, Jake. You know, I make the laws, you can't do nothing. You know, what's that in Wisdom of Solomon? Our strength is in the law. Roughly paraphrasing. Somebody want to grab that right quick.
I got a precept to back up.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 2. Let our strength be the law of justice,
You getting it, bro?
and that's what he does. You know, he says his ways are always grievous, and that's to Jake. You know, making sure we are cut off at every freaking turn,
On all sides.
all sides. You know, yeah. He says thy judgments are far above out of his sight. He don't think he's going to have to pay for this, okay, for the stuff that he's done. But as Colossians 3 and 25 and says, he that doeth wrong must receive it for the wrong that he's done. There's no respect of persons. All right, you got to pay for everything that you did, Esau. All right.
James 2 and 13, it says, for he should have mercy. Let me get it. I'm fucking misquoting. I hate that.
God, bring it out.
Let me go get this. I'll butcher it up. Slovakia.
You all right?
So James 2 and verse 13, it says, for he should have judgment without mercy that has showed no mercy. And that's what we're going into, is showing you that Esau didn't show us no mercy.
Nope.
Because this nigga go on the fucking reservation, all right? And it's all kind of federal laws to fuck up, Gad and Luke on the res.
Yeah.
I'm happy I want to raise in the res.
Yeah.
I'm happy, I'm not knocking it. But it's some petty shit.
Yeah.
That Esau can come against Gad and Luke on the reservation.
Yeah.
Drinking.
All right.
Yeah.
cigarettes and shit. Fucking cans that got aerosol, all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And they out there just go ahead, brother.
Now, I'm saying, the most recent one of all, you put them on those reservations, and when it comes time for like voting, even though Jake ain't supposed to be doing that, say you got to have an address. Reservations don't have an address.
Well, everything is federal too.
Yeah,
right.
Everything is federal out there.
Yeah.
And one of the feds, they take their sweet ass fucking time.
Yep.
Go ahead, brother.
Quick
That's why it says in Psalm 73, therefore pride can pass them about as a chain.
Yep.
Violence as a garment.
Garment, yep. That's it.
Go ahead, brother.
You want me to start up a verse?
You can.
God, it's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, beginning of verse 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man.
God.
Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged.
Mm-hmm. So they don't give a fuck who you are, woman, man, or child, you're elderly. It's all about a stamp, like we just said.
Yep.
Stamp you out at every turn they can, every way. All right, young or old, man or woman. All right.
It says in the Psalms 47 too.
Yep.
It says,
so basically the scriptures reiterate what Esau did.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Psalms 47 going to Babylon.
Yep.
It says that it didn't show any favor to the elderly or old.
oh, Isaiah 47.
Yeah, Isaiah 47.
Kind.
Like I talk a little fast sometimes, but that's hey, the scriptures reiterate what Esau be fucking doing to us.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just like we were saying earlier, as we've been doing this series, his pattern has not changed. His pattern has not changed. All right.
It says, verse 11, here's the point. It says, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
He says that which is found to be nothing worth. So they know that the power has been taken out of our hands, according to the curses. Like the scriptures say, there's no might in our hands. Okay? And because we're feeble, we don't make the laws. Okay? We've been redlined, put in these places. When you get the actual definition of ghetto, it's truly talking about us. Not those big nose small hats, that's impersonating us right now. Okay,
That's the corners.
Huh?
The corners. You got to when you go to the scriptures. Let me get this real quick, because to back you up, Barzal, right? It says in the Deuteronomy, right? I'm gonna get it. Deuteronomy 32 and 26. I said I would scour them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. Now, it's about the Lord, all right, how he would, deal with us, right? Now let's look up the word corner. Okay. You got a word corner. I'm gonna web search it. It says corner. It says a part, region, or area, especially one regarded as secluded or remote. Right?
Which we talked about earlier about being ostracized.
Force a person or animal into a place or situation from which it is hard to escape.
Yep. That's the truth.
That's why. Well, we know Donny Hathaway. Made that song, The Ghetto.
Yep.
Then we would listen to it, me and the brother Kaya and Shai, we listened to it. And I told him, I said, listen to the music. How chaotic the music is, but it sounds so beautiful because it's like beautiful chaos what we're living in. Some of them old songs, you gotta just listen to them. It tell you the story.
Yeah. He follow up with one after that. Someday we'll all be free. Beautiful song.
It says, forced into a place or situation from which it is hard to escape. All right? You can't escape these curses. And Esau makes sure that he put that extra on top of it.
Further than that affliction.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got something.
Oh, similar to Slakia, brother. Similar to gang control laws. You know?
No, you go ahead.
I was done with that Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's something. Because I know we talked about the violence against our brother Jacob, and we see that ever since that Esau has come into power, his main point was like his spirit was. He said in his heart that he would slay his brother Jacob. And so in all different points, we think of 70 AD, when they came in and brought forces. We think of then fast forward to days time of us being in slavery and then coming out or emancipated and having our own land. There's always been a thing of them, to put peoples down. So going back into the Obadiah, just to kind of sum up, the spirit of Esau Edom, he said, I'm gonna just start at 12. He says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, and if y'all want to add anything, on the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoke proudly in the day of distress. So just kind of like we're all, in the, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and as we noticed, there's been a big proportion of the Southern Kingdom who have been, taken down and beat down, by these laws.
Judah.
Khan.
Judah, the head tribe.
Khan. And they
know, and they know that.
Yeah.
Because the scripture say that behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Right.
Esau know who the fuck everyone is.
Yeah.
He knows the tribes. He know that Judah is our leader.
Well, that Israeli council, Judith Varney Shore, said the number one problem for the state of Israel is the so-called black youth of America.
You won't even let the real Judah get over in the land.
Right. Right.
Look how they treat in the Jake and Damon Israel. So how the fuck you gonna say they're a threat to y'all when Jake, you got them off the land?
Yeah.
They don't have no parts of their land.
Yeah.
So how the fuck can they be a problem?
Yeah. And the ones here, like she said, in America, we got no military.
Right.
Yeah.
We over here minding our business. You got Saudi Arabia, Iran, Yemen, all of them shooting at your ass, and you say that the black youth of America is your number one problem.
Right.
Ain't that something?
And they got a nerve to make a fucking anti-defamation league, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, y'all defame us all the fucking time.
Yeah. Just turn on the news every day.
So that's going in that speaking proudly and puff it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says, he says, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked upon their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. So, like, we're in the worst conditions in this time, that we ever been, and yet you find more and more ways to help for the affliction, and then he says, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway, because we talk about cutting them off. Now when Jake find a way out, you find ways to keep them. Okay, I'm out of jail, but now you have to be on probation for several years, and then part of that probation, you got to keep coming and meeting certain requirements, which is a trap in itself, because if you miss one, you can go back for all that time.
And because they know, hey, Jake is under the curses. They gonna mess that up.
They
gonna mess that probation period up. That's why he said maybe Jake be on probation 5 years, and they look different. They go right back in there. You know what I'm saying? Or no, I had a friend from the world that was on it, and if you miss your payments to the parole people, your ass is back in there.
Drugs,
they just want the money.
So if you can pay that money, see, they know Jake ain't got it. If you pay money, or it's like that money, early, you got probation early.
See?
Subject to payments.
It says, he says, stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So and then 15, it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So, it's just to show you that the scriptures, from the time that they've been in rulership, that this has been a perpetual thing, an ongoing thing, because, like Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai said, he was having war with Amalek from generation to generation, because what they have done since they've been in rulership. Every generation they've come up with new laws, new reinventing new evil and wicked ways to oppress the Lord's people.
That's the, you know what that's about? That's about the one that blessing, that birth right back.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So every time Amalek, start with Amalek of the house of Esau, have came for what? Jake. They want Jake identity.
Yep. He's the wicked. Amalek's the
That's-
wicked side of Judah.
Yeah.
That's the head tribe. Yeah.
So they wanted. That's why they call themselves the JOOWs.
Right.
Because why would you call yourself that? You know you ain't that.
Right.
That's you won that fucking birthright back that your forefathers sold for that same meat your ass eating today in the land.
Yep.
That was it.
All right.
All right, ready for
You
you
finish?
Yeah, I finished number
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Number 2.
All right, this is back to the Cap 20 of AmericanProgress.org. This is the point number 2. It says, impose mandatory life sentences for individuals with 3 or more felony convictions. The crime bill implemented a rash of new 3-strike laws that impose automatic life sentences for people convicted of a certain felony offenses if they already have 2 convictions on the record. Dozens of states followed suit and enacted 3-strike laws, resulting in a ballooning of the incarceration rate in certain states, especially for Black and Latinx Americans.
Mass incarceration.
Yep. Yep.
You look at it. That's what they point out in that movie, The 13th. They point out the prisoner population.
Yeah.
How when the crack era hit, it just went into the millions.
Yep.
So look at where we at today in 2024.
Right.
Yep.
Come on now.
Oh, there was a one of the Bone Thugs.
Oh, yeah.
I forget which one it was. But he was speaking on
Crazy
Crazy
Bone.
yeah. So he was speaking on how that he knew of someone that went into a meeting, and the whole meeting was about how to direct the hip hop music in such a way that it would influence the youth to actually start to do certain crimes, to do these crimes.
It's called enchantment. Bro.
Con, and to do these crimes to then help to flood the prison industry.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually-
mind you, what you just said, prison industry. It's
Uh-huh.
a whole industry, yeah.
Yep. It's actually, I think years ago, Apostle Gabar did a video on that. But, you know, I remember that era clearly. That's when all the conscious rap was out.
Yeah.
You had the Brand Nubians, Public Enemy, X-Clan, KRS-One, things of that nature. And if you were, you know, alive in that era, that's when you saw all those leather medallions of Mother Africa start to populate. And Amalek got mad. He said, there's an underground movement going on. They're not getting radio play because they control it, but there's a movement going on, and we got to stop it. Okay, and the first thing that they did, if you remember, Public Enemy's album, no, Fear of a Black Planet.
Oh yeah.
Fear of a Black Planet. Professor Griff
Yep.
quoted some stuff from their own sources
And got in trouble.
and got in trouble for it. They told him if the group is going to be disbanded if you don't get rid of him. And he quoted Amalek's own sources in talking about the small hats. They got rid of him. And then that's when you saw that turn. Everything stopped. Because once those medallions started to come out, it's like these people are getting too close to knowing where the origin of everything comes from.
Yep.
They had to stop it.
And then you had, and then shortly after that, you had NWA come into play, and then, and of course, if you look at the movie, who was the head behind
Jerry Heller.
Yep.
Amalekite.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. Even with NWA, remember they were starting off with a positive message.
They did.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, talking about smoking dope that'll, you know, burn your brain cells up. Blah blah blah. Nah, then Dr. Dre dropping the Chronic and all that.
Yep. I remember that era because I was born in the 80s. As I remember as a little boy, you heard positive rap.
Yeah.
It was basically like you going to the names. They was teaching Jake how to seek knowledge.
Yeah.
How to how to obtain knowledge, and how to even take care. It had the safe sex in the music back then.
Yeah.
Practice safe sex.
Yeah, because that during them 80s time, that age was running rapid in our communities. You know? All right.
On 3.
And it says back to point 2. It says imposing life sentences simply because an individual has a criminal record disproportionately targets people of color who are more likely to have a record in the first place because of unequal contact with police and the justice system.
This is why they got that. You guys remember the New York 12?
Yeah.
So they told what they do. This is from the chief on down. They're instructed to go in the J community and harass Jake.
Yep.
Stop and frisk all that shit.
Yep.
Well, that's
So if Jake ain't doing shit,
yeah,
and you just stopping him, fucking with him, that's gonna provoke a situation.
Khalif
That's
Browder.
what Jake say. Why you messing with me for? Why you fucking with me for?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just walking down the street, minding my own business.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you say, boy?
Yep. Khalif Browder's a
No. What you say? You got. Look, listen, brother.
Yeah.
You got niggas, man.
Yeah.
You got fucking niggas, man.
Yeah.
You got black and Latino police officers.
Oh, yeah.
Edomite
Yeah.
cops.
Yep.
They carry out Esau shit better than Esau
Yep.
do.
Yeah, they
Yep.
real taskmasters, boy.
Jake.
They
Man, Jake's
except
real
exceeded
fucking
the wicked.
degenerates.
Yeah.
Because Jake know how to get to you.
Yeah.
Your own people do.
Yep.
So that's why, and that makes sense why Nathaniel is fucking the way he is. But anyways, I never wanted to be a police officer. I just seen right through him.
Yeah.
Because why? You have to do things that you know is not right.
Right.
I only ran across maybe two Jake officers that had decency.
Right.
You know? And that's because they like, man, you know, fuck that, man. I ain't doing that.
Right.
Because Jake got a conscience, you know?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
And then it says harsh collateral consequences limit employment opportunities for returning people, especially people of color. Remember, we were just talking about that. Like, once you get out, stuff, there ain't no real opportunities for you. So it says limit employment opportunities for returning people, especially people of color, and increase the likelihood of recidivism. I bet you that just means go right back in there. So, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it says recidivism is the act of a person repeating an undesirable behavior after they have experienced negative consequences of that behavior. It says that
Saying what was the negative consequence of the behavior is now no one will hire you. Can't get a loan. You got all these obstacles now that you're finally out. You're quote unquote rehabilitated, right? You know what it's supposed to be for, right? But now you have zero opportunities once you enter back into the world. You know.
it says the tendency of a convicted criminal to reoffend.
Yep. See, and that's all it led back to. So guess what? They got to go back to doing dirt to try to survive, try to feed his family. And it says the crime bill's 3-strike provision sent thousands of Americans to prison for life based on previous offenses for minor crimes such as stealing loose change from a parked car. In 2016, 78.5% of Americans serving life sentences in federal prison were people of color. It says hundreds of Americans will die in prison as a result of the 3 strikes law. Some states have recognized the damage and disproportionate effect that 3 strike sentencing has on communities of color, especially black communities, and have undergone major reform efforts. In California, for instance, black people were 12 times more likely than white people to be incarcerated under 3 strike laws until the state passed the 3 strike Reform Act of 2012. This act amended the law to require one's third strike to be a series of or violent felony, and allowed those currently serving 3 strike sentences to petition the courts for a reduction of their term. Hey, this ain't let them out. It's just a reduction. However, 28 states still have a 3 strike sentence on the books. In Maryland, Mississippi, and Louisiana, black people alone constitute approximately 3/4 of those sentenced to life in prison. While the federal government recently replaced its mandatory life sentence with a 25-year minimum sentence, it neglected to apply this change retroactively, meaning that hundreds of Americans will die in prison as a result of the 3 strikes law. Yeah, they put it in place, right? That now it's a minimum of 25. What they say, 25 to life usually, right now. But that doesn't apply to the ones that have already got the 3 strikes, so they're just in there. You know,
Messed up.
and that's it on the point 2. So
Okay. This is you had something?
No, go ahead, bro.
Okay. This is point number 3 on how the 1994 crime bill affected people of color or Israelites.
Slaki, I did. I thought
Okay.
I thought you had a precept. My bad, brother. This is the book of the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they prescribe." It says,
righteous decrees is righteous laws.
Yep.
Because they make sure they put that legislation or laws in place so they can apply it when they locking Jake up.
Yep.
and the thing is, when we talked about the prescribe, I know we talked about it before, it was like, you mentioned, it was like the presidents prior to bill you know, had already started writing these things into play. So then, like you said, by the 80s, it was like, or like the 90s or 80s, like mid to late 80s into the 90s, it's the bill, all these bills started to come together because it's like the former president couldn't get everything done, so they wrote things off for the next one to complete.
Premium before.
Yeah, premium before. And just to add to your point, you know, that goes back all the way back to the Emancipation Proclamation. You know, that thing, you know, like this month, Jake is about to celebrate June 19th, but that was actually 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation passed. The reason for that was the 13th Amendment was on the table being ready to be ratified. Okay, so you had those vagrancy laws, loitering laws, you know, that would, if you were caught violating them, you know, you go right back to the plantation you came from under that 13th Amendment.
Verse 2, it says, "To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless."
And you read it again.
Yeah, kind of the whole thing, or
The two.
2. It says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless.
Yeah. And that's really how Esau get to the children. Remove the man, get to the woman. She indoctrinated the children what Esau want her to do. Because he's going to always beguile Eve. I mean, we up against a lot.
That's right. And the elders say, hey, we're against a lot. That's why there's no way but Yahweh Shai. We cannot deliver ourselves.
Okay.
This is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 4. It says, "Therefore the law is slack and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore the wrong judgment proceeded." And when we go into that word compass, it means to surround or encircle. So ultimately, you know, E is out here surrounding Jake, trying to close in on Jake, zero in on Jake, and also keep them in that oppressed state, which ultimately he does that via his unrighteous decrees, man. Because ultimately, all this legislation, all the bills that he pushes forth, and like you were going into earlier, you know, the stacked pages, 1,000 pages, which they know Jake not gonna read. All right, but ultimately, all these things are set in order to further oppress Jake, man. You know.
That's right.
And you know, this devil, man, he doesn't rule in righteousness, man. He doesn't rule according to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashmi.
Nope.
He's ruling according to wickedness, man.
Like we just read in Psalm 10, his judgments are far out of his sight. You know. All right. That was it. Okay. Getting back, this is the third point, final point of how the 1994 crime bill harmed Israelite communities. Okay, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's titled "Levied Harsh New Penalties for Justice-Involved Youth." Okay, it says the crime bill also expanded the school-to-prison pipeline and increased racial disparities in juvenile justice involvement by creating draconian penalties for so-called super predators, which is low-income children of color, especially black children who are convicted of multiple crimes.
That's how you know. Because, you know, going into the draconian, laws. It speaks about, let me get it.
Hey, and another thing too, you hear the Esau loves them buzzwords. Super predator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, you know? Make you instantly.
Revelation 13:11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now we know that beast talking about the fourth beast being revived, all right, and
Roman
it was
Empire.
revived through America, all right, which is the Roman system.
Yep.
Okay, and it says, and he spake as a dragon. Look up that dragon, right? And them horns, you know, 2 horns like a lamb. You got the 2 political parties, the main 2 political parties.
Yep.
But they on the same side behind
Yep.
closed doors.
Right.
Yep. Republicans and Democrats who are like you said, are the revival of the Flavians and the Patricians from the Romans.
Yeah, it says Dracon. All right, you look up Draco.
Yep.
It was an Athenian lawgiver
Yep.
that passed out what? Harsh laws.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
See, and so they back, you know, in power since the Renaissance, and they still passing out draconian laws.
Yep.
Go ahead, Rob.
All right. Continuing on, it says, among other things, the crime bill allowed prosecutors to charge 13-year-old children as adults
Yeah.
for certain crimes. As a result, today, 2/3 of Americans who were sentenced to life in prison as juveniles are black. Ain't that something? 2/3.
Hey, that's right, and that's how you know too that Esau know around 13 you become a man or
Yep.
slash woman. You know.
Yep.
They know that.
All right.
You hear that IUIC? Go ahead. brother.
Right.
Continue on. Juveniles of color also constitute a majority of cases that are transferred to adult criminal court regardless of the offense category. Oh, man. Additionally, the bill included an increase in funding for resource officers. These school-based licensed police officers can make arrests and are sometimes armed depending on local jurisdictions.
That's true.
This increase, exacerbated the school-to-prison pipeline for black children, as SROs, are twice as likely to discipline black students compared to white students. The bill also called for sentencing enhancements for youth who are convicted of certain offenses and believed to be associated with gangs. However, while white youth represent a significant portion of identified gang members, at 40%, law enforcement report that more than 90% of gang members are people of color. As a result, police and prosecutors are more likely to target people of color for suspected gang association.
Yeah, I got a precept.
Yeah, that's hard to see.
They have actual. You know, I was in school. They had really started to ramp up police officers being in school.
Yeah, resource officers. Yep.
Yeah, because they was armed. They was armed. It was full dress police officers.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have multiple of them. And they right there in the school, walking through the school, walking through the hallways. They had their own office in the school. And for what? I remember an Iscarite Officer Munoz. You know, I didn't like that nigga. You know, he was Iscarite. You know, but I knew you know something ain't right with a nigga.
Right.
And he should look, give you that look like, you know, you better be cool.
Yeah.
Type of look. You can just mind your own business, you know. Go ahead, brother.
All right, good.
All right, precept.
Yeah,
after
precept.
precept
Yeah.
is on you.
And actually, it's something you mentioned because you know a lot of the shootings in the schools, the multiple shootings in the schools.
You might.
Yeah, but then you would have many of the schools in the inner cities would have metal detectors for guns and stuff like that.
I forgot that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because when you said that, made me brought that to
Yeah,
mind.
metal detectors.
Yep.
Searching your book bag and shit.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So-
Random searches of the lockers and shit.
Oh yeah, bring the dogs to the school.
Dogs, Yep. All that.
They had the big German shepherds too.
But here's a precept that I had. It's Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." So we know there Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he deals on both sides. He created both peace, evil and good. Okay, so on the right hand side, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is like, train up your child in the ways of the laws, commandments of the Heavenly Father, and as they get older, you know, they'll continue to thrive within the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But Esau on the left hand side understands that as well, so he's like, look, let's get them when they're young. Like the brother was saying, you know, they set up a pattern of things as far as the schools from the not being to dress uniforms and like the way the food trays are set when you eat. to the point of the bell rings and everybody moves when you get about an hour or so time of recess, and that continues on a pattern up until the point where even the education in a lot of cases are faulty. They're not getting the full education that'll teach them what they need to survive. But then they go out and they get arrested, and then boom, they're in a prison system that teaches them the same thing.
Well, the father being removed anyway. The father being removed.
I guess so.
And that's the household right there already destroyed.
Yeah.
So the children, especially the mother, a lot of the women ain't shit. If the mother ain't shit, you gotta expect to have some goddamn degenerate children.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these younger jakes out here that out here shooting this shit, that whole generation right there is strictly fatherless.
Yeah. These are
straight up club babies.
Yeah.
Your mama got hit after the club, and the nigga locked up because he probably killed the nigga.
Right.
Locked up for drugs. The Pookies and Ray Rays. And the kids just grew up fucked up.
Yep. Yeah. I just want to elaborate on that. Can you read that?
Raised on gas station food.
Yeah. Can you read that again?
Yes, sir. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So that scripture there is an extension of Deuteronomy chapter 4. All right, where it says, that the father is supposed to teach his sons and his sons' sons.
Yep.
Okay. And when he's out of the house, like we were talking about, he's unable to do that. And we was also talking a little bit earlier off camera about how the woman is the glory of the man. In 1 Corinthians 14, it says the woman learned anything she learns from her husband who was at home.
Right.
Okay, so the thing is, not only when you is that child affected when that man is out of the home, so is that woman. Both of them are misguided as fuck.
Yeah,
because the leadership ain't there.
Right.
The
leadership is not there. And we talking about a righteous man. Okay, we just want a righteous husband, a righteous father. Not just any old Jake that's doing wickedly. Because the thing is, when you train that child up in the wrong way, he's going to go the wrong way, according to Hosea 4:6. All right.
And just to back up Bra again, once again, that on the opposite spectrum, Esau's using that same tactic, but for wickedness, to keep Jake dumbed down and into the ways of this world from, like I said, from the youth up. That's why they start you mandatory kindergarten up.
This is a good precept. Sirach 3:9. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children.
That's right.
See? So like you brothers go into, this is why Esau removed the father. It says, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations.
You read that one more time?
Sirach 3:9. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children. That's the ordering.
Yeah.
You go into Barzal, pretty much the ordering. The father ordered the household. He set the tone. He set the rules, the regulations for his household. And if he's not there, there's no rules and regulations.
Right.
There's no hedge
Got
at all.
a quick
And
one
it's
for you. Oh, go ahead. So I can
I'm saying. It says, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations. You got a fucking mother, especially if she fucking wild as shit. Look no further.
Plain and
You look
simple.
at their children, look no further than the mother. Because why? She raised them.
And you said uprooted foundation? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
it says, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundation.
That's right, yeah.
Go ahead, precept, brother.
Yep. It says, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 1 and 2, he says, hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attain to know understanding.
See, the instruction of a father.
Right.
A woman, like you said, a woman's, what it says in Sirach 26, is nothing much, let me get it,
Oh, watch
a mind well instructed. I kind of butchered it. I want to just quote it briefly.
I'll read the second part while you get that.
Yeah, go
it
ahead.
says, for I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law.
Right.
God.
It says Sirach 26:14, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. A woman, so you women are out of order because your mind haven't been instructed by a fucking real man. Especially what Barzal said, a man of the Lord, especially.
Yep.
So you got to think. we watching generations of children that ain't got no instruction. Their mom ain't got no instructions, and they dad fucked up. So there's no kind of foundation for children to even have a decent mind these days. Cause I remember even, and I don't know about you bros, because I don't know you bros are close in age with me, but in the 90s we used to get our ass whipped to school even.
Yeah.
In Ben Harbor we used to get our ass whipped to school.
Oh man.
We're fucking rulers.
Yeah. Hey.
Them fucking 3 yard.
Yardsticks.
Yeah, them yardsticks. Miss Williams. She would tape them motherfuckers together.
Woo.
And whoop your ass from the whole class.
Shoot.
But that taught you a fucking discipline and to conduct yourself well. And that show you that them older jakes knew about keeping children in line.
Yeah.
Because even your fucking, like I had coaches that would do that with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking check you.
Yeah.
You know how bros get rebuked in the truth?
Yeah.
Them older jakes in the world growing up, my coaches and shit, they would, especially when you won the top leaders on the team, they check your shit out, check the shit out you.
Yeah.
You fucking up, you my leader. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? You fuck up, everybody's gonna fuck up.
Yeah.
So that show you that Jake had a sense of fucking togetherness and being instructed or well instructed. So like,
Yeah.
you know.
Because now them same coaches, right? Now the parents get them fired and shit. Like, my son is led by, man.
Yeah.
But really, he's looking out for their life, man.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Because he ain't gotta fucking be your daddy.
Right.
I know your daddy.
Right.
Yep.
Go tell your daddy I whooped your ass.
Right.
I know your uncle.
See, if I may, you talking about the 90s, I'm going to take you back to the 70s. I went to, was going to second grade, first time at this new school. My father goes to the teacher, tell them kids sit down and be quiet. She told him, be quiet. He told the teacher this. He said, see that one right there? That's mine. If he get out of line, you got permission to whoop his ass, and then call me. I'll take care of him when he get home. That's how it was, man. That's how it was. And we had that everywhere. You talking about the yardstick? Oh no, it was the paddles with the holes drilled in them. So when he not on that thrust, you could hear it whistling that it's coming. Boom. Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah.
But that's put that fear in you, though.
Yeah. Come on.
But you notice too, the respect to even your father went into and commanded the classroom.
Established it.
Established the order, right?
Because they demanded respect.
Yeah.
And there was no other way.
Right.
There's no other way.
Right.
Hey,
That's why I wasn't as wild as a lot of guys my age, because I grew up around them older generations.
Yeah.
Right.
And they be on your ass.
Yeah. And it's that man's voice. I took his class on the field trip, or his younger brother class on the field trip. You had 6, 7 teachers on the bus.
Wow.
Can't control them. All women. Can't control them. Just rowdy. So I stood up. Hey!
Yeah, just one little night.
Sit down and listen to what the teachers say.
That put fear in them.
Man, that attention span.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
That's the conclusion.
Yep.
The legacy of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of '94 continues to harm communities of color. It is past time for lawmakers to dismantle these harmful policies and enact comprehensive public safety solutions that reduce reliance on incarceration, prevent unnecessary criminalization, and eliminate the draconian laws keeping millions of Americans in prison. And this is a precept to go with that. And it's like, they ain't gonna change the shit.
They make too much
Ain't
money.
no fucking, like, man, man, make an effort to change it. No effort, just change it.
Right.
Just fucking do it.
Right.
It's that simple. You just writing it in the law.
Yep.
Isaiah 14 and starting at verse 15. The point is in verse 17. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And here's the point, verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. That's the main thing. You can, a lot of these jakes, some of these motherfuckers crazy. Ain't gonna,
Right.
bug the fuck out. We know that. There's a lot of guys in there that could be decent. Because the majority of jakes you see in the community, most jakes in the community ain't gangbangers.
Right.
No.
But they'll highlight that. Oh, see, they the gangs. They the gang life. You know, hey.
Right.
No. You're projecting that through your mainstream media.
Right.
Con.
You know.
Con.
And and then to back you up, many Jake just they do that RICO, these different laws where they're connecting you, or you just so happen to be in the car, don't even know, like clueless of what's going on, and then you ended up getting because he had a gram of whatever on him. Everybody in the car is getting it.
Yeah.
So then now you have never committed a crime, and now you just got pulled into there in this trap.
Man.
That's called accessory.
Accessory
to a crime.
Yeah.
They're throwing you like that.
Yeah. I went to a house party back when I was back in the world, back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know the people is there, so I walk in this room. Now, my buddy that drove, they got stuff laid out, about to sniff it up. I said, hey, man, get me the fuck out of here. Because if they do a raid, I'm going to jail, too.
Yep.
I don't want no parts of that shit. Get me the fuck out of here.
That's real.
And and that was before even RICO was a thing. But that's just how they did.
You don't have to see drugs.
Yeah.
I was involved. I got locked up in high school over the weekend, and these motherfuckers said they found some weed residue. I'm like, motherfucker, and they ain't had nothing.
Right.
So the judge, I'm sorry, so and so, you spent the whole weekend in jail. Hope you get back to school and hope you got good grades. I hear you on the basketball team. I want to say, man, you fucking devil.
Right.
Well, there was something in that conclusion that just kind of sparked, because the whole point of it was talking about, again, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But then when you read the last line in the conclusion, it goes, eliminating draconian laws keeping millions of Americans in prison. So now these people are Americans. So it's just the hypocrisy of
people now.
It sounds like that you're trying to help, but with this, but you relish in the downfall of our people. Y'all like to see this is like entertainment.
Oh yeah.
To the masses.
Because Esau is at ease when Jacob's bugged the fuck out.
Yep.
So what we doing right now, coming together under the banner of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, proclaiming our nationality, getting into this true knowledge, wisdom, understanding the scriptures.
Right.
Man.
Like it says in Revelation 11:11, fear fell upon them. Great fear.
That's right.
That saw them.
Oh,
You
man.
gonna grab it?
No, it's not great fear. Go, somebody else grab it. I had something to back you up, just an example in a former time.
Yeah, because
Mike, grab that for me.
this right here is scarier than anything. You can have a fucking gun. They'll just shoot you down. Oh, we got the nigger.
Yeah.
But this weapon right here, which is the Bible, this is the main weapon you need. This is the biggest threat to Esau.
Yeah.
Because now you're doing something that's going to bring togetherness and unity, but it's not like Jake in the world.
Right.
This is a true brotherhood.
God.
This is a true building up
Yep.
of the Lord's people, which starts with the 144,000, the hopefully elected.
Well, because that brings Yahweh Shai, because he said, well, 2 or 3 are gathered, I'm in the midst.
God.
So now
God.
let's bring in Yahweh Shai in the mix, which is who they most greatly fear.
When the people don't have an identity,
God.
you can do whatever to them.
God.
When you have an identity, it's hard for somebody to fool you
God.
because you're aware of things. The scriptures make us alert.
Yeah.
It says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
God.
So we know. Because why? Yahweh Bashim Yahshua made us a quick understanding.
God. God.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
God.
Right.
Go ahead, Ak.
All right, yeah, this is the book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. This goes right into what you was talking about Jake being bugged out. It says, now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto Yahweh, power of Israel, verse 2, then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your power, or your God, as ye do. And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. Verse 3. But Zerubbabel and Joshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power, our God, but we ourselves together will build unto Yahweh our power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, have commanded us.
Yeah, because the fucking heathen have no parts of this.
Right.
That's why it says in Sirach 12, for your enemy, say I'm not by thee.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
You know, at least he
Overthrow you. Yep.
Water.
Yep. And then
Because no, Slocky,
Go ahead.
This should finish this point. Esau infiltrate Jake like the COINTELPRO shit.
Yep.
And guess what happened? Take Jake down.
take them down. Take them down.
This is
Take
why betting brothers is important.
Mm-hmm.
Con.
You know what I mean? Betting brothers, because you see all the nigga shit going on in Israel.
Yep.
There's some fucking COINTELPRO going on in Israel.
Yep.
Con.
Better believe it.
That's right.
Every brother ain't a brother.
That's right.
I got a hot one to back you up too.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 9:4. It says, "Take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders."
See?
Yeah.
So when Jake got together in the world, you know, you got the Brown Berets, the Black Panthers, so on and so forth, right? The Young Lords, all them, right? Jake would get together, and Esau infiltrated that shit and brought him down. That's the same thing they doing, all right? They're trying to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
Guys got on fringes, garments, boy of blue, fucking devil.
Yeah.
John 8:44.
Yep.
Yep.
Father the devil.
Con.
Works he
I got a quick precept
Go
to
ahead.
back you up.
Okay.
This is Acts chapter 5 and verse 38. It says, "Now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it, lest happily you be found even to fight against the Most High." Right.
Con.
So this is the truth right here. All right. This is of Yahweh Shem Shai. And then any of these other bullshit camps or any philosophies, they ain't gonna fly. They're gonna become the knot. They're gonna be infiltrated. They're gonna be taken down because what? It's not of the Most High, man.
Con.
Second Ezra 6.
Yeah.
Con.
Faith shall flourish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So this is why Esau like, man, what the apostles say, they came up trying to pay him.
Yep.
They said, nah. He
Yeah.
actually rolled up on the apostles' suitcase money. You know, the apostles told that story.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know this train can't be stopped.
Right.
No, that's it. Hey, that's it.
This is a locomotive on high.
That's right.
It ain't got no brakes.
No
It ain't got no engine brakes.
Yeah.
No brakes.
You better hop on board. Jake's out there.
That's it.
If you want to catch this right, you better hop on board.
Yeah.
By getting this knowledge, because hey, it ain't gonna stop.
Con. Con.
Go ahead.
Okay, just wanted to finish this off, and this is verse 4, picking up after Zerubbabel and Joshua said, "No, you can't build with us. You got to do with us." Ezra 4, verse 4. "Then the people of the land, who were the heathens, weakened the hands of people of Judah and troubled them in building, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia."
You got Jake taking bags.
Yeah. Well, them counselors, you know, they like the heathen when they're not according to the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, but here again, this was the rebuilding of the temple. Here we are in the spiritual temple.
That's right. The third
okay?
temple.
The third temple, and the same thing is happening. You know, you have Jake that's in the stead of heathens doing the same thing, like IUIC. All right?
That's right. Because the third temple is the Israelites.
Huh.
I got a quick precept, bro. Hey, First Maccabees 1 and 11.
I was just thinking about that scripture too.
First Maccabees 1 and 11
I'm
says,
thinking of
"In
Amos
those
1 and 11.
days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying,
Wicked men.
yeah,
Mhm.
see?
You
saying,
hear that, IUIC?
that's right, saying,
A
let
lot of
it-
you niggas,
Yeah.
man, hey, Shalaki,
No, you're right. No, go ahead.
and a lot of you niggas, man, it's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Okay? You guys doing this whole pandemic thing, man. You guys, you know, getting your members juiced up.
Yep.
That shit is bugged the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I believe, because Nate was a police officer, I believe a lot of them niggas is undercover with fucking agents.
Yeah.
That's just my spirit. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, did you see when they got into the fight with ISPK on the
Yeah,
corner?
yeah.
There was a certain way you held them down.
Oh, boy, they had it
That's
set
police
up.
tactic, man.
Yeah.
Knees
Police
in their
tactic.
back,
Yep.
Yeah, they had them. Yeah.
They knew. They knew.
Yeah. Because if they're real brothers, they should have been able to just hash it out.
Yeah, or
I mean, or, you know.
like the example with GMS.
Yep.
When ISBK did the same thing to
Yeah,
us
yeah,
in
I remember that.
Pittsburgh,
Yep.
brothers just picked up and moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. All right, back to 1 Maccabees 1:11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And that's the same today. That's some same spirit. From 2/3 of Israel are still continuing to what? Want to be with their oppressor Esau, man. And Isaiah 30 says what? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. All right. Once again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, 2/3 of y'all, you know, y'all got the Stockholm syndrome, man. All right, you done fell in love with your oppressor, man. All right, you know he done did you dirty, done beat you up and down this land, man. And now you're accepting him, like, oh, now you're in that. Can we just all get along spirit?
Because the thing is, man, majority of our people, man, they can't see past what Esau has to fucking offer.
That's
man.
right.
A lot of Jake, man, they don't see Yahweh Bashim Yashai coming back to avenge his people, man. Nope. Like, they don't see the kingdom of heaven coming upon earth. They don't see the Lord bringing us up out the situation that we're in right now.
That's right.
They don't see the Lord putting us in a position of prosperity. Right, the only thing they can see is what Esau got to fucking offer.
Yep.
Jake is always reparations.
Right.
Well, true reparations is the Edomites, the so-called white people, and the other heathen nations being our slaves, man. Man, fuck that $1 million, man.
Yeah.
Fuck the paper dollar. We want slaves, man. We want fucking blood.
Yeah.
Right.
And with respect to that reparations, we talked about it, I believe, briefly on Thursday. There's legislation right now on the books from a Texas senator, House Resolution number 4321, that pretty much says that if any state, okay, introduces legislation regarding reparations for the descendants of slaves, they will promptly deny you of federal aid in case of like a disaster. So if another Katrina happened and that state has legislation on the table for like the reparations, you're not going to get it. That's that federal aid. The taxes that came from your state, they're not going to help you with.
Right.
This is to back you up. Number one, Isaiah 52:3. For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. So what to my reparations, what it's going to do for you? It's Esau money.
Yeah.
Right.
He controls the money. You see what he did to Kanye West?
Yeah.
Shit, all his shit.
That's what you take $1 million. Okay, you got $1 million. Now you ain't got $1 million.
Yep.
Well, we'll find a bank to put your money.
Yep.
And they don't, you go in the bank, certain amount of money, they question you.
Yep.
How'd you get all this?
Yeah.
They question you, what you going to do with it?
Right.
Oh, we don't got that. We can't give you that.
Yeah.
Right.
Jacob want cash. I want mine in cash.
Yeah.
These banks got $1 million in cash.
Hell no.
Yep.
They give it to every Jake? No.
Nope.
That's why they do that with that fractional banking.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Ezekiel 25:12.
Okay.
Thus said the Lord power Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and had greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel.
That's right.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know that my vengeance, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So, what we gonna do to you Edomites in the kingdom? All right, it's going. Oh man, this oppression we got, man. I mean, I ain't gonna go into it because we got, we've been rolling for a while on the camera.
Meditate terror.
Bring it out.
Yep.
Bring it out.
That real quick.
Daniel 7:18.
Daniel 7 and 18. Can't see.
Yep.
Is that the,
Daniel 7 and 18. Okay. Okay, I got you.
That was at 33.
Yeah.
You got that.
Okay. This is Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And the saints are the Israelites, according to Psalms 148, 13 and 14, okay?
And not only when the saints take the kingdom, this is Isaiah 33 and 18.
Yep.
Thine heart shall meditate terror.
That's
right.
So while we in the kingdom, our heart's gonna meditate terror upon you fucking devils.
That's right.
You ain't gonna have no fucking easy day in the kingdom besides the Sabbath.
Yep.
You're gonna keep the Sabbath and pray the Sabbath come quickly every fucking day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we gonna be like white on rice on your ass.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
Yep.
We ain't gonna give your children no ease.
Nope.
Your fucking old ass, crippled, hunchback ass Edomites.
Nope.
We gonna make it your life fucking hell, man.
That's right.
Till we round your ass up and have a big ass bonfire drinking that good old yayan.
That's right.
God.
That's right.
And that's what's coming to you fucking Edomites. From Amalek to the lowest Edomite
God.
of the house of Esau Edom.
That's right.
The whole house. God.
So with that, we're gonna close. We're gonna give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Again, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone Ruwell. Salutations to you, hopefully elect brothers and sisters out there. Hey, Shalom and Abba Babal.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.